So here I sit before you, April 1st, 2008 was the date that I dropped my debut solo album. The title track was produced by the homie Richie Spitz. That album was called Part of Me, an album that came to be out of nowhere. Maybe late 07, early 08, not sure exactly when. I just remember it being winter. Late night, about after 2 in the morning, maybe 2:30ish or so, shutting down studio, and I always have the music playing, door open, because normally around them kind of times, nobody else is up on the floor that I'm on. I like my shit loud, and I like to share with everybody. During the course of the day, this dude was kept passing by, in and out, and we did the traditional nod of acknowledgement towards each other almost every time that we called each other's eye, whatever. And incidentally, the homie Ty had a studio down the hall, him and James' yard. So whenever he was working on the project, I'd get to hear it before the rest of the world did. Thank you, my brother. Love you forever. So pops his head in the door and he says, "Hey, man." And I'm like, "Yeah, what up?" And he's like, tells me his name. I'm not gonna call his name. Tells me his name, and I look at him like, okay. And he says his name again, and I say to him, "Yeah, and?" Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, man? And I don't know you from nobody. Anyway, he asked me about the stuff that was playing. And I was like, "Oh, that's my stuff." It's like, right, okay, that's really good. Like, so, like, stuff you've been playing throughout the day, whose stuff is that? And I'm like, "Oh, I'm the producer and everything, anything that you might have heard today." Whether it be somebody singing or rapping or whatever, it was me on the boards as the producer and the engineer. He's like, "Oh, right, okay." Then he tells me about his indie label, working with the artists down the hallway, etc. And he says, "I'd like to, get a listen." And he was like, I'm like, "Well, I'm about to head out." And he goes like, "Oh, like, you leaving the studio now?" I'm like, "Yeah." But then we ended up sitting in the studio till about 6 in the morning, listening to material that I produced. Some of it and a lot of what I've performed personally. And he says to me, "Would you be interested in the deal?" And I'm like, I don't know. So let me think about it. He invited me down to Brighton, where he was based, to see the setup down there, etc. So that's the point where I got my boy Rad involved. Call Rad's name because that's my people. Got my boy Rad involved, my manager, and we went down to Brighton. We had a look-see. I was satisfied with what I saw. The stipulations of the deal were, I deliver the product. You have no involvement in it, in its creation. I deliver it. The only involvement you have from that point on is distribution and marketing of it. You get 40% for all your effort. I keep 60. And I get to keep my masters. If it comes to a point where I feel I need to move on. And out of that came this video, Waste Man, which was saved by my homegirl Sarah, my homeboy Carl, because the initial video that the label did, it wasn't the one for me. Wasn't having it. Stereotypical performances with yachts and shit, and I'm not about that. The whole point of the song was to show a dude going about his daily routine hustling, showing that he ain't a waste man. He about taking care of his business as a man, repping his people. And Waste Man was my debut single for my debut album, released under my former pseudonym Floriginal, Floriginul. I changed my name because people used to keep calling me Floringanum, or get it wrong in some way, shape, form, or matter. It's just original with an F and an L in front. That's all. Floriginal. Original with an F and an L in front. And take out the A and replace it with an E. So Anyway, I changed my name from Floriginal to Fdot1 to negate that. But guess what? People get Fdot1 wrong too. Anyway, my debut solo album, Part of Me, released on the 1st of April, 2008. A lot of people thought it was April Fool's. I wasn't fooled. It was real shit. And let's just say the grind don't stop. So thank you for those that tuned in from back then, that are still here rocking with me. Those that didn't know, that are just tuning in. Google a motherfucker, find some shit. Fdot1. Peace and love, y'all. 13, what's good?
Waste man, bar with no waste man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man. Man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man, sip grapes with no waste man. If you ain't heavy on your grind, use a waste man. I'm sick of these wanna be waste men that be trying to get it for free, never putting in the graft, but want a bag to throw seeds. You wanna run with a kid, gotta get your weight up, stop popping them pills for them girls we be seeking, Bentley gleaming, 24's leaning, shut the fuck up, cause true ballers don't flash and real shotters stay. If you didn't get the picture, the point I was making behind the statement, you a waste man. We don't bar with no waste man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man, sip grapes with no waste man. If you ain't heavy on your grind, use a waste. We don't bar with no waste man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man, sip grapes with no waste man. If you ain't heavy on your grind, use a hustler, look, this is my space. You better get off the call to work ass slumber, pediatric flow is stated. Round here we graded like this shit that makes you when it hits your chest. Did you digest my confession? Now you claim you international, but never left the end. No. You better listen when grown folks is talking. Your balls ain't even dropped yet and you claim you're popping. Better get it tight in the booth when you step to the truth. Don't waste my time, please, cause I don't dream in black and white. My vision's technicolor. I'm about that big picture, that long paper, don't waste man. We don't bar with no waste man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man, sip grapes with no waste man. If you ain't heavy on your grind, use a waste. We don't bar with no waste man, chat to no waste man, break bread with no waste man, so move, we don't blaze with no waste man, sip grapes with no waste man. If you ain't heavy on your grind, use a waste man.
It's been a long time coming.